Okay, so here we all are. Thank you all for coming. This is awesome. So many people are here. Hell yeah. We are going to first have a lovely performance from the spoken word class that Patricia Smith teaches, featuring
I'll tell them.
all these people.
All these people.
Patricia are going to tell you about. And then after that, we're going to have a brief intermission and then start an open mic, which will be judged by Patricia, and the winner will receive a cash prize.
How much?
Well, things change, Greg.
You want to judge, Greg?
No, I don't want to be judged by you.
So, now the ever wonderful Patricia is going to speak to you.
I was about to forget one of her classes. Hello? Hi. Be nice to me, I've got the money. Alright, so for those of you who don't know, the reason we are, well, the basic reason that I'm here is I teach a spoken word class, and the way for a spoken word class to have a test is to speak words in front of people. All right, so I will be grading them. This is their midterm. I will be grading them on their performances. They will be coming up for a couple of rounds, and after that, we will have an open mic. I will be judging the open mic the same way I would judge a spoken word competition. So anyone who deserves to be in my spoken word class, who is not in my spoken word class, who is in the open mic, will win money. Notice I'm being very careful about not saying how much money, because I don't want any of you to leave. It could be $2.50, it could be $2.50, it could be $2,000. Who knows? Could be a bus token, a Chicago bus token, which won't do any of you any good, but you know, hey, it's still worth some money. Okay, so my spoken word class, and I'm going to forget somebody. I know I'm going to forget somebody because I wrote all the names down. So whoever I forget, yell at me, all right? Are you guys all here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, so, and if you hear one of your favorites, just give it up for them, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, Gavin Cook will be in the house. Nick Fabry will be in the house. He's got a little posse back there with him, on his shoulders. He's doing voice exercises. Kyle Guerin in the house. Kat Fullwider. Carly Courtney. Courtney Potts. Ladies and gentlemen, Mona Ramirez. Audience, she just packed. I guess she's got dogs here, grandmothers, mothers, and Lucy Sandoval. Oh yeah, how could I? The world famous Ben Courier. All right, so this is their show. I'm not going to do anything else. They're running this whole show. So, ladies and gentlemen, just right now, give it up for them and enjoy.
Dear Mr. Detective, in your opinion, am I too fat to be raped? Am I not attractive enough for you? Is this why you said I wasn't believable? I would like you to know I was a little vague on some details. Do you want to know why? Because I didn't want to tell some strange man how I was violated, or how embarrassed, and how stupid I am for getting into that situation. Again, you didn't let me tell you how he invited me to talk and how he had no intention, or how I should have known he just wanted sex. Thanks a lot for listening to describe how empty I felt, laying there with him. And how I was even questioning why I was laying there, and how my pants got on the floor, or how he got on top of me, or how I screamed, or how time lot, by the way, for lacking any human emotion when you asked me if he came. Did you notice how I shook when you asked me that question? Thank you for being an insensitive asshole and taking my power and giving it to him. And supporting his statement indirectly that, oh, I fucking wanted it. But you know, I'm not too hung up on it. Because thank you. Thank you for abandoning me and letting me find my own path to my power, my strength, and my voice. And I know, one day, there will be a girl there with my tears in her eyes, and I will tell her that it will be okay. That she doesn't need them to believe her. She may want, and she may even beg for them to just believe her. But she doesn't need it. And I'm going to help her find her power and find her strength and find her voice again. And I'm going to do all of that, Mr. Detective. You know why? Because I did that. And I didn't have you. And I didn't need you to believe me. Tell them!
Fuck the police!
I love the enthusiasm. All right, I'm gonna read something new. Over tequila sunrises and Tom Collins and maybe some PBR and some pot, she asked us, if you had a time machine, when would you go? And I hear my friends say Rome, Shakespearean England, Paris, circa Simone de Beauvoir and Byzantium. Yeah, my friends are nerds. I say New York City, 1981. And they say the jazz, the art, the architecture. And I say I'm on a road to nowhere, come on inside. And they give me a look, the improvement in infrastructure. And I say, close enough but not too far, maybe you know where you are, fighting fire with fire. And they say, you know Rescue Me didn't come out until the late 2000s. And I say, once there were parking lots, now it's a peaceful oasis. And they say, I got it, I got it. You go to the city to fight for workers' freedom and maybe some conservation. And I say, there's a party in my mind, and I hope it never stops. They say, come on, Ben, you're going for the coke? And I say, and she was drifting through the backyard, and she was taking off her dress. And they say, for the strippers, and I say, no. And they say, for the whores, and it's fucking classy. And I say, I can't seem to face up to the facts. I'm tense and nervous, and I can't relax. And they say, it's a hell of a thing to admit to yourself that if you could travel anywhere in time, you'd go to New York City for the whores. And I say, this ain't no party, this ain't no disco, this ain't no fooling around. And they say, we get it, you're only going for the whores. And I say, I've changed my hairstyle so many times now, I don't know what I look like. And they say, you're way too lazy to make it in the punk rock scene. And I know they're right. And I say, I'm just an animal looking for a home. And they say, David Bowie was a dick anyways. And I say, how many people do you think I am? And they say, one, Ben. You're only one person. And I say, as we grow older and we stop making sense? And they say, I guess dementia could be considered the breakdown of the psyche into all of its components, and therefore multiple personalities are based in a single skull. Good point. And I say, there's water at the bottom of the ocean. And they say, technically the surface holding the water is the bottom of the ocean. And I say, we don't need clothes and we don't need money. And they say, you can't swim in the Hudson Bay. And I say, if we can live together, the dream may come true. And they say, there is no dream. The world is too complicated for dreams. And I say, same as it ever was. And they say, no, the world only got too complicated with globalization in the late 80s. And I say, run, 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 run away. And they say, yeah, I guess we're all just talking heads. And I say, wouldn't life be better in a time when we could still hope? And they say, David Burns and his band are still alive. And I say they died with their ability to dream, circa 1981.
Cute, Charlie.
Love is giving someone the power to destroy you and trusting that they won't. When I gave you the keys to my shackles and you chained me to the bed, there was no safe word. You were everything, and it hurts. Oh, fuck, it hurt, but only when I asked nicely. Your love was the crack of a crop on anxious thighs. Your love hurt so bad I could think of nothing else. It stripped me of my identity. I was no longer my own. I was owned. I was your pet to do with what you please. Whether it be crawling or begging or shaking in ecstasy, I was your eager and willing slave. But when the pain stopped coming, when the emptiness came pouring in, I came to crave the whip. I needed the bruises claiming me as yours because without them I was naked and lost. When my trust in you faltered, I begged to be blindfolded, and you happily accommodated my weakness with your strength. But when your strength began to fail, when the ropes frayed and your hands slipped, it was my job to care for you, to be your loving pet, your baby. But you found my love elsewhere through cut straws and crystal. When she told you, "You're mine," you kneeled at her feet, shackles in hand. When she demanded your submission, you strapped on the ball gag yourself. I tried to lead you back, offered you the whip, but I knew the cravings too well to expect your return to dominance. That lust for the bruises and welts, spelling your name on my ass, that hunger for humiliation. Man, sorry. When you belong to someone else, when you live to please them, when you give them your body for pleasure or pain, for love or debauchery, for bite marks or bruises until the handcuffs come off, you surrender your strength and your sanity and trust them not to pull the rope too tight. I got no such mercy from you, and you'll get none from her. Get ready for a life on your knees, bitch.
Go, babe.
In a time when the game was used to resolve battles and end wars, there was one man who played with grace so beautiful and flow so silky, faster than any lion of the land. They would hunt the gazelle for him, so he would not hunt them. Stronger than any bear of the rivers, they would fish the salmon, so he would not hunt them. Flyer than any eagle of the sky, they would walk the earth, so that he would not hunt them. Over 100 battles were won due to his courageousness and desire for victory. It is said that the most beautiful woman of the tribe broke in ankles. The chief is his daughter. Chief Firehole blessed him with his daughter. The smell of cheddar can hit the nostrils of people up to 10 miles away when he shoots. When he lays the wood, the sound of lumber reaches the mountain peaks and the valley's depths. Heart of a champion, soul of a warrior, spoon made of gold.
Is this working?
Her name is Anna. Let me breathe. Hold on, sorry. Her name is Anna. The closer I get to her, the stronger the magnetic attraction. You see, she is a part of me. She is so empowering. With her, I can accomplish anything. And her gaze is so alluring. Because you see, I see myself through her eyes and her through mine. Because she is a piece of me. She is a part of me. She is me. But just a shade closer to perfection. Slightly better. She is my only protection. And if I could be closer to her, I could sooner achieve that ideal state. This compulsion for perfection is so primal, so innate. You see, I can accomplish anything with her by my side. She will never leave me. No matter how hard I push her away, she will always reciprocate my strength. If I can only follow her simple instructions, you see, it's just an exercise in logical deductions. Plug the calories and expenditures into the equation. Compulsions completed equals a moment of elation. But you see, this ecstasy is fleeting. Its inception leads to instantaneous destruction. And tomorrow must be today's example exceeding. This joy, it is deception. And this idea of perfection has rotted and necrosed my perceptions. It has twisted my idea of self-worth so much. It's twisted and contorted it. For on her, I rely for everything. She is my sanity, my identity, my everything. And who am I without her? Because she is the strongest piece of me. I am nothing without her. I could sooner cut off my hand than give up the strongest piece of myself. Reset, begin the new cycle. Resist until you no longer can. Then with quivering fingers I ingest. For a millisecond, my body gets the upper hand. Now self-loathe and detest. Listen to the urge, commence the purge. Push, pull, sprint, regurgitate, purgitate. Do anything to get rid of those calories. They are the enemy. They are weakness. I cannot be weak. I must resist. So, reset. Begin the new cycle. I'm in a dance with the devil, you see, and I feed off of her. We orbit each other. I gain momentum with her, and we spin helplessly, careening helplessly into oblivion. Now what? Where do I go from here? I can't go anywhere. You see, she is what I am. She is such a part of me. I can't leave her behind. I must move on, though. I must keep going. So, I will. I will keep fighting every fucking day. Because you see, this is an addiction you can't run away from. You have to face it with every sip, slurp, nibble, bite of your waking day. You cannot escape this. And there is so much guilt. You are drowning in it. It smothers you. It is thick as tar, and it fills your lungs and takes your oxygen. Good luck. See, you have guilt for eating and guilt for not eating. You have guilt for putting your family and your friends through hell. You have guilt for having this first world disease. See, I have the luxury to starve myself while others fight tooth and nail for food. Does this make me selfish and ungrateful, wasteful? You see, there are children starving, their bellies bloated with emptiness, flies swarm their mouth and their eyes, trying to get a piece of their dying flesh. Yet I sit here, and I refuse to eat. What a horrible person. God damn. So, reset, begin the new cycle, ingest, resist until you no longer can. I've split farther the divide between my body and my mind, and I feed this illness in my mind, in my psyche, with my body's demise. And Anna, I listen to her, and her whispers, and her instructions, and my body quivers and queries. Feed the hunger. Back back, she whispers, no, the hunger feeds me.
I wanted to return to that place, the willow tunnel of stays towards paradise. I remember the smell of my father, when wine and beer slumbering. I thought of the host out wonders, through an unmarked grave piled with spirits. All I love tonight is your seedless smile. Like touching your raspberry skin, clutching thorns, like wild vines basking in your blood flow hair. Lost tomorrow, after the funeral, petaled feathers falling, graceless light as we return to our lives.
Sweetness on his tongue. You transform him as he engulfs my mother's delicate body with his fists. Why does he love you so? You are his poison, his ecstasy, his debilitator. When you are gone, he sobs like a child. He tries to escape you, but he is forever yours. He wears you around his neck like a crucifix. You are his priest, his religion. You transform him into mass destruction, wind, rain, floods of alcohol. You are his love, the love I wish I was. He is my blood. I was born drunk. I do not consume you like he does, because you will consume me. You are my childhood memories, full of tears, blood, and fears. You are my father's destiny, but you will not be mine.
Full sail, all are aboard, and we're on our way. Leaving the harbor, I began experiments on my mind that are on the thoughts of him. The wind in my eyes, a salty spray across myself. I cannot dream, I cannot daydream even. I cannot see what is right in front of me. See, I took ecstasy and I looked into the sun for too long. And then I took acid and I became the sun for too long. Xanax is the only god for me. Those architecture hands sketching the designer drug blueprints of meditating feet, cross-legged at the fold of eucalyptus. Or so it seems. If I fall into a slumber, watch me die slowly. All I want is misery. And I am aimlessly dragging this wanderlust along, looking for someone to teach me. How wonderful life can be. I walk along black sands and red skies dripping in the back of my eyelids. Lift me as you put your hands up and feel the beat beating into you, but breathe before your heart's last call. For some of us, we are the forgotten children, and I am a lost boy. Too many have asked, Father, where have you been? I looked for you in my first step. I listened for you and my teachers, and I worked for you, my coaches. Father, where have you been? I was offered you by my mother, but by the wolves I was raised. Savage animals, though they may be. Still, they do not abandon their young. So I search for you. In my lows, I look for you in this high that is like silver at the bottom of the lake glimmering. I cannot stand you. In this reflection of trumpets along the glare of my scorched pupils. Synesthetic sunspots popping along Californian coastlines with welcoming poppies. I am here in the Pacific, cresting along the exploding sunsets that are chasing the new day. Believing it to be on the edge, beyond the sun. But we are already dead, washed up upon the shore of another life. Thank you.
You know, I am sick and tired of all this talk. Is this on? Okay. About love and happy endings. Things like that don't exist for people so disgusting. They're only simple pleasures to fill your kids' heads at night and set you at ease. You think someone's gonna come and sweep you up off your feet? Fuck that. Stop dreaming, bitch. No one's coming for you. Those flavorful hopes of true love's first kiss and Prince Charming are only fantasies built by society, because they don't want you to know the truth, the undeniable truth, that for people like us, who destroy everything and push away what we need most, for people like us, there is no such thing as love, no such thing as happy endings, and no such thing as dreams come true. So suck it up and forget all those sugar-coated thoughts, and don't you ever fall for those stupid tricks again.
I don't understand. They share their opinions and I disagree. America the Beautiful in another language. Sounded American to me. These people weren't white, but they were the same as you and me. Different tongues and different faces. It sounded on key. So it is American. Drinking sweet iced tea, sitting on your porch with a gun under the old peach tree. Does that mean everyone? How about a deportee? If he had sat right here, would it be different? No. He's still as worthless as a flea. Does my name make me American? Is that all I need? A name like Henry? And a middle name, something English, something like Marie? Can an American travel here? Is it defined by your family tree? What level of inbred is acceptable? Can I be a parolee? How much dedication do I need? Can I swim here to be free? Or is that not enough courage and strength? Is there an admission fee? How much money can I borrow? 1,000? Or 50? Should I pay it back? No, the taxpayers will cover me. Do I need to be ungrateful? Have everything handed to me? A rich, material, obsessed brat, the fruit of a poison tree. Do parents have to carve out an existence, create a good life out of debris, while their children get everything handed to them? Under a Christmas tree.
Yes.
Should I demand everything for nothing? Hey, I'm American. Give me, give me, give me. My parents said I deserve the best. I was their sweetmeat. Can I dump my garbage everywhere? Pretend it's potpourri? Someone will clean it up. From sea to shining sea. Do I have to have an opinion? Should I like Mac or PC? Does my opinion need capital letters? Where's the caps lock key? How should I form my opinions? Agree with what you believe? What do you believe?
Not much.
Should I march out, demand to be heard? But what if I disagree with not much? Do I need to be smart? Win the national spelling bee? An education on paper? Is American obtaining a degree? Do I have to go to war? Come back an amputee? Is this what American means? Should I volunteer or do I have to be a draftee? What religion should I follow? Not Islam, not Taoism, but Christianity? Pray on my knees to God to forgive me, only on Sundays. Can I not be a religious devotee? Do I have to be racist? Can I be from east of the Mississippi and not pigmentally to discriminate to the highest degree? Can I be fat or should I be skinny? Do I have to love weed or can I not be a tokie? Can I be gay? A straight escapee? Why is marriage defined by your genitals? Is American love no longer gutsy? Unless you hurt someone else's freedom, it was supposed to be a guarantee. To be welcomed with open arms and unrestricted liberty. So many risked their lives to be here today. America was supposed to be a sight to see. Would you have come here through Ellis Island? If I wasn't born here, I would be. A house divided cannot stand, and it's time for us all to see. We all make up what it is to be an American, every single one of us. You or me.
Don't let it out, because your boat, it's sinking. You're a mosquito in a hurricane, and God knows there's no more hope. And just a little bit of time. Breathe out. You only have a few more of these breaths left in your lifetime. Now pick up your son and hold him close. Tell him you are sorry that this isn't working. And also that, tell him you are sorry that he'll never see the golden shores of Florida or the shimmering beaches of the hellish shores he left behind. Pick him up and place him in an inner tube, a child's plaything. And tell him, Elian, te amo, no te dejes vencer. Breathe out, breathe in again. You are not dead yet. And think for just 1 second that your father never taught you how to swim. The waves start breaking over the boat, and you're terrified. What do you do now? Feel that rubber rip from your grasp, and scream in the tongues of sadness, fear, and regret. Fight when you're in the water with your brothers, your sisters, and your loved ones. Remember, now is not the time for love. You have a son, and you really do not want to drown. Breathe out. You find a piece of wood. Cling to it. Breathe in, because the swells are coming like charging bulls, and you can't see the inner tube anymore. If you make it through the storm, breathe easy. But remember, you are not saved. The reckoning has yet to come. The wood you cling to is waterlogged and grows heavy like tired eyelids on a sleepless night. You're dead when they close. But smile. If you made it through this storm, maybe your son did too. Breathe out for the last time as you see that fin coming through the water towards you like a single jagged tooth. Think of this as some sort of Darwinian euthanasia and think maybe, just maybe, it's better than drowning. But when you feel those teeth enter your flesh like 1,000 tiny razor blades and the water enters your mouth and your nose and your lungs, you realize it isn't. I wish you were still alive so I could tell you your son made it. He was picked up 60 miles off of the coast of Florida by a fishing boat, breathing. I wish I could tell you that he lived happily ever after, that your death brought his amnesty and he lived with relatives, but he didn't. I wish I could tell you that he wasn't taken from those relatives by men with machine guns and deported back to Cuba, but he was. And I wish I could tell you that over the last 15 years, things have changed and people no longer drown trying to cross our oceans or die of dehydration in our deserts. But things haven't changed. And at this point, it looks like they never will.
Issues. The hip new psychological assessment of girls with an attitude problem, looking for love in all the wrong places. Daddy issues. The first world condition for daddies who didn't love them enough. I may have issues, but my daddy loved me. At least that's what he told me over and over again, punctuated with a crack of a belt on my back or a hand on my face. Standing over me, tears running down his screaming, twisted face. You only have to hear it so many times to know it's true. As he throws you to the ground again, bruised and covered in angry welts, this is what love is. And you better keep your goddamn mouth shut about it. He loved my mother too. We loved her so much he couldn't let her go, not even with her clenched fist pounding against his shoulders. When she came home from swing shift at a hospital and climbed into my bed instead of his, he needed to remind her that he loved her, and so she was his. And her job was to be in his bed when he commanded it, and in the kitchen when he didn't. You could say he was old-fashioned. And his old-fashioned love came with the fury of 1,000 screams and tears falling from his scarlet cheeks onto her purpling face. Between gasping sobs, he assured her that this was her fault, but he loved her. He loved her as he growled, "You stupid bitch," when she wanted to go back to school. As he growled, "Dirty whore," when she came to bed with pajamas on. As he growled, "The next hole punched around here will be through your fucking face," when she took me to get my ears pierced. And he loved us. He loved us when she was his tutti frutti and I was his tickle bug. He loved us when he played the Beach Boys and drank before church. He loved me when he came into my room at night when my brother was asleep and laid his head on my stomach and his hand on my head, tears dampening my shirt. So I have daddy issues because the smell of Old Spice turns my stomach. Because I beat up kids in elementary school. Because I can't forgive him. Because I cover my crippling fear with a mask of sarcasm and indifference. Then you're damn right I have daddy issues. But it's not because my father didn't love me. It's because he did.
Cracks in the floorboards. Cracks in the walls and ceilings. Feeling like slipping through the cracks. Not quite broken, but cracks throughout. The floodgates are leaking, and the cracks are growing larger. Insignificant, just another crack in a Grand Canyon. Dry, feeble, weak, cracking and disintegrating. The dynamite is blowing and the foundation is cracking. But still I heat the spoon. Crack.
Beauty in this affliction, it is more than a disease. You see, it is an addiction. You see, I'm addicted to resisting my desire for what is integral to my survival. This is unlike other addictions, though, because you cannot run away from the substance you crave. This is an addiction I have to face with every slip, slurp, nibble, bite, and swallow of my waking and sleeping day. I dream about food. Give an alcoholic a drink with every meal and see how long they survive. Here's your daily dosage of heroin. 1.2 few and you're done for. 1 too many, you're fucked anyways. Run, hide, cower in the corner, it does not matter. You cannot escape this torment because it is within you. It is you. Welcome to my hell. My mind is stuck on repeat. It defaults back to the constant thought of food. What else can a starving person think of? Food, nourishment, sustenance, snack, meal, cuisine, taste, flavor, savor, and joy. And joy. Oh no, there is no comfort for you here. There is only regret, guilt, and weakness is my nemesis. You see, I must be strong, and I must resist the most primal of instincts. I must not give in to this gluttony, for it is a sin. This is what I find strength in. This sense of control is intoxicating, and this power is so seductive. And once you have had a taste, you are hooked for life. There is no cure. I am consumed with negating those calories. Calories, that buzzword our society is so obsessed with. That word I was raised with. Calorie equals enemy, and the compulsion to purge them overwhelms me. I resort to calisthenics to gain my desired aesthetic. I do quick arithmetic calculations of how many crunches will negate this rice cake. How far do I have to sprint to negate this salad and make this salad invalid? How long do I wait before I tickle that oh so familiar eject button on the back left corner of my throat? How far can I go? See, I don't know. Nobody knows. Instead, I'll tell you how far I went. 67 pounds and 8 ounces. That was my greatest accomplishment. My wait upon admission to Stanford Eating Disorder Unit. This was purgatory, a place between the living and the dead. Stalking these halls were what once resembled healthy human beings, now atrophied to be halfway decomposed carcasses. Skin was stretched too tight over our angular scaffolding of our bodies, producing odd angles where these bones tried to escape this fleshy wrapping. We looked like we had been through a Holocaust, and we had. But these concentration camps were hidden out of sight deep within our minds. We were prisoners within ourselves, and our torture was performed by the most masterful of tormentors, those who knew us the very best, us. Speaking of torture, let me introduce you to the best kind. It is called a nasal gastric tube. A tube that is shoved up your nose, scrapes down your throat, past your larynx, through your esophagus, and is finally thrust into your stomach, where it pumps ounce after ounce after ounce of that enriched elixir, Ensure. Hospitals love Ensure. Rip out your NG tube and back in it goes again. Security guards would even come to hold down our emaciated, writhing skeletons. You always knew when someone was being subjected to said torture because of the blood-curdling screams emanating from their rooms. You see, our demons had us in their talons clutches, and we would fight to the death. We were all on the brink here, and our demons were strong, and our hearts were weak. Our wills were strong, but our organs were failing, and we were in a battle for our lives, but our murderers were deep inside. We were all competing here to be the best anorexic, and the winner's prize? Your name carved into a polished stone.
My full of cinnamon brown sugar, my mind is in singular molten cinnamon. Empty quota is really talking. I make signals of brown sugar while others release steam as bickering and muttering Morse code. Finally grabbing coffee, mixed steers mashed with honey, sugar, cocoa, cinnamon. Ordering a caramel latte, bringing memory of breakfast. Steam ash air, hovering over caramel trails, sipping cinnamon brown sugar, my mind in a coma.
Stress is a feeling that bleeds into my mind and creeps slowly down my neck and shoulders. A humming from busy working bees that drown my ears. The clattering of dirty dishes that keep multiplying in the sink with no hopes of getting washed. Stress is the laundry volcano that erupts over the basket in need of escape and relief. It's the piles of endless books and homework that suffocates my desk. When will it be allowed to breathe? It's the tick, tick, tick of a clock. No time. There's never enough time. No time to sleep, no time for family, no time. It's, what will I cook for dinner? Dinner is something that should not and will not take up the time that I do not have to get to that choking hazard on my desk. Dinner time, no time at all. Stress is working until it's too late to tuck my daughter into bed. It's not reading her the bedtime story that she asked for the last time she saw me. It's parenting, feeling like you're the life jacket that will save your child from this world. Feeling like every action you take will make or destroy that precious child that you created. Stress is the midterms, the time wasted driving to school, the lectures, the questions, the 5 minutes I had to get to class, the public speaking. It's running around like a chicken with my head cut off. It's no time to breathe, no time to be a mother, daughter, wife, student. Stress is racing against time to finish school and not miss that part of my daughter's life, the part where she will still want me around.
Part 2. Letters to you, Mr. Northeast Editor. You vanished from my life, and we both know it's for the better. Now, this is a love story, left with me. I'm the letter. He is holding that 3-day pistol to the side of her belly, pressed up against the walls of my feeblish flowering temple. A sudden movement, a moment faster. A hint more of that speed he hits in our lives to know that same haste. But we didn't end. Now I'd come to meet him. And his volume. His volume that is screaming love, and I hate their love because they love to hate, but love from my mother, and that is what's real. I am her light. I am her blessing. I am the greatest love letter she has ever received. Still, I walk about my days and sometimes I think I wish I wasn't born. Truly, wish I was never created unto this earth. Because I am my Father's son. It's written all over her face, her pain. Not just the arthritis, I mean, it's in her soul. I am my Father's son, holding that 21-year pistol to the side of my temple. When will I vanish? By whose hand?
And so it in our guts. 2, they always said these are our glory days, from high school to college. College will be the best. 3, it's time for us to start our lives. We're on our way now. The only family are new friends next door. 4, 5, classes are easy. We've got this. Take some notes, wave at the cute boy across the room. 6, the people we met were great. Who knew love could pour from our hearts so easily? 7, god damn, parties are sick. And would you look at that? Free alcohol provided by our seniors. Thanks, guys. 8, 9, we are really having a good time here. Independence tastes sweet. We should move into a house. 10, we are invincible. Keep on counting, don't stop. We've got this. 20, 30, life gets better and better. We have a home to call ours. We have endless supplies of liquor, and oh so much weed. 40, we are invincible as we party. We are invincible as the liquor gets soaked into our blood. We are invincible as we smoke more weed and fill our lungs. We are invincible as we snort coke and Molly or anything we can get our hands on. We are invincible. 50. We are not invincible. 51. We were not invincible when you didn't wake up that morning. We were not invincible when the cops showed up and saw the mess from last night. We were not invincible when they asked, what happened here? We were lost. 52, 53. I was in denial. They felt guilty. He was still high. She was heartbroken. Why won't anyone stop crying? 54. We could not be less invincible. A piece of us died with you. A piece of us left with the others. A piece of us went home with your father. A piece of us we won't get back. 55, 56. We were broken. It seemed like we'd never pull through. 57, 58. Heads low and hearts heavy, we try to push forward. Tears fall along the way. Does it get easier? 59, 60. We were invincible. Or so we thought. 1. Now what? Vincent Magnano, we love you. Hetties and milk for life.